Hey, hey everyone. Hey, how are y'all doing? It has been a minute, but I'm back and I'm happy to be talking with you all today. For those who don't know me, I am Chiante Jones and I'm a financial coach and I specialize in helping professional women eliminate their credit card debt so they can have more financial flexibility. So, coming up with a plan to eliminate that debt and how to manage their money. Today's topic is a really good one. We're going to talk about why you need to start betting on yourself. And this is actually something that I've really been focused on myself over the last few years. It's something I'm still actively learning. I think it's one of those things where you do continue to learn it. It's really like a lifelong lesson that you practice over time because there's always going to be another situation that comes up where you have to choose you or choose betting on yourself again and again. And hopefully, as you get more practice in it, it becomes easier over time. Maybe we'll see. Um, but I'm definitely more of a structured, stable, secure type person. So sometimes when it comes to betting on yourself, that can be a really scary thing to do. And I know I'm not the only one that deals with that. So I wanted to talk about today some reasons um, why despite it being scary, you really do need to start betting on yourself. And there's a lot of reasons for it. So I'll share some with you, some my thoughts on some today. So one of the first reasons I say to start betting on yourself is that you don't have to live within someone else's limits. So this is one of the reasons that really got me started thinking about this. In late 2016, maybe like November, December, it was evaluation time, performance evaluation time at work. I was really excited, had a great performance year. And so I was expecting, certain ratings and certain pay rates to go along with that. And unfortunately, it did not turn out that way. Um, and it wasn't like a bad raise or bad performance rating or anything like that. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be and really what I deserved based on the work that I had done that year. But it really was a blessing in disguise for me because it was what I like to call that time I call it the awakening. Because up to that point, I really didn't have any type of entrepreneurial spirit. I was more like definitely work in the workforce, kind of the more traditional path. And I really, even though I didn't necessarily know if I would stay at that particular at my job forever, I didn't have plans to go like out on my own to do something else. But in that moment, it did. I call it the awakening because it made me realize that I didn't like the way it felt to have someone else's limits on me. I guess I really realized it at that time, really what it really was. I didn't like, my potential, my earning potential, or even my living potential being capped by what someone else thought I deserved. And so that kind of sparked something in me to want to think more outside the box, outside the traditional path, and kind of got my brain going. And at that time, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do or how that I wanted that to look. But about a year later is when I found financial coaching and really realized that that was the more that I was looking for, and wanted to help people in that way, but also to, pursue an entrepreneurial side as well. So my thing is like you can absolutely, earn a good living and create a good life working for a company, but you're still going to be subject to their time, their rules, their office politics, and you have to be willing to play the game to climb the corporate ladder. And it's a ladder that really wasn't necessarily created for us, with us in mind. So, and the truth of the matter is to really build wealth, you're going to need multiple streams of income. Most wealthy people have acquired their wealth through some type of entrepreneurial or business endeavor. And they usually have, multiple streams of income to go along with that. So that, that's just kind of the reality of building wealth. And also, you have to be, you also have to know that, companies aren't as loyal. Like a lot of people look at, working for a larger company as being secure, versus entrepreneurship, which entrepreneurship does have its ups and downs. And I know entrepreneurship is not for everybody, but, I'm sure, over the last several years, we've seen a lot of companies go through reorgs and layoffs and everything else. Some of you may have actually experienced that yourself. So, I'm not saying quit your job. I think there is a place for your job. I'm just saying think of how you can create income in other ways besides just your, 9 to 5. Put more of your security in betting on yourself rather than in these companies taking care of you. So that's one. So you don't have to live within someone else's means. So another reason, so reason two is that you are more capable than you realize. So a lot of us have a lot of things that keeps people from betting on themselves is different fears of different things. Fear of failure, sometimes fear of success. That's something that I've struggled with myself. Like what happens if I am successful? Kind of losing control. Can I handle that? Who do I need to be? So fear of success is a real thing. Limiting beliefs. Am I capable of doing that? Who am I to do that? Imposter syndrome. So and you don't. The thing is, like, you are capable. You don't have to have all the answers to everything right then, but you need to be able to trust yourself that you can figure it out. You are capable of figuring it out when you need to figure it out. So that's the reason for betting on yourself. You are capable of more than you realize that you're capable of. You got to where you are now because you were capable of doing whatever you needed to do to get there. It's not that you knew every step that you needed to take to get where you are. Maybe it was a little bit clearer because that was a traditional way to get, traditional path to take to get there. But you still had to figure out and navigate your way, and you would do the same thing in any other area that you just, decide to explore that's maybe a little unknown. You'll figure it out. And there's a lot of different ways that you can get support in doing that. All right, 3. You need to start betting on yourself because it's okay to choose you. So I know as women, we tend to put other people's needs a lot of times before our own. We, want to take care of everyone else. Put our stuff on the back burner, our needs and desires on the back burner. But it's okay to choose you. Choosing you is what's most valuable to you, what matters the most to you. It is totally okay to do that. And that's part of betting on yourself, is knowing that is okay. It's not our place to have to do everything for everybody and then, and leave ourselves out of the equation. So start betting on yourself and start choosing yourself first. It's not selfish, it's needed. We need to be able to take care of ourselves so then we can better take care of others and support others the way that we want to. It starts with you, okay? Reason 4 for betting on yourself is because you are worthy. You are worthy. You are enough. A lot of us have, different things, that have impacted, our worthiness or feeling worthy of certain things, feeling worthy of abundance, feeling worthy of prosperity. And a lot of that stuff is really deep rooted and, can stem back to childhood traumas and everything else. But worthiness is there. Like, you don't have to prove your value to anybody. You are deserving just because you are, just because you exist. You are enough. So like you are worthy to have those things. And you are deserving, and that's why you need to start betting on yourself, because you do deserve those things and because you are worthy of those things, and that's it. That's enough. Okay. Reason 5 is to take back your power, and power in the sense of other people's opinions of you and your life and in your choices. So a lot of times why people don't bet on themselves is, again, it's one of the fears of what people will think. And that could be your immediate family, a family, friends who may not see things the same way that you see them. You might think about, putting yourself out there, what other people that you don't know will think, like the general public, what will they think? And you're just, worried about that. Will they see me fail? What if it doesn't work out and they see me fail? All those things. Well, and first of all, a lot of people aren't even willing to have the courage to put themselves out there to begin with, for the reason I'm saying. So the fact that you even took a chance and put yourself out there, you're ahead of the game anyway. So what can they really say if you do go out there and it doesn't work out? So what? At least you were willing to try. A lot of times they're not even willing to do that. So it's just take your power back and not feeling the need to care so much about what other people think. Comparison is really the thief of joy. Like that you don't need anybody to co-sign on what you feel is right for you. Trust that in your own self what's the right thing for you to do. And like I said, that may go against what your family believes or what your friends believe or whatever else. Your path may be different, and your path is your path. So take back your power, bet on yourself to take back your power, and trust yourself to know that you know what's right for you. Okay? You don't owe anybody an explanation for your life and what you choose to do in your life. All right. What reason are we on? I don't know. Reason six. Reason six. So another reason to bet on yourself is so you can create the life you want. So it's nobody's responsibility to create your life, the life that you want for yourself, except for you. Nobody's going to come in to save you and just miraculously give you this life. You have to create it. And that can look a lot of different ways. You know, everybody has different desires for their life. So that can look a lot of different ways. And here's the other thing. Here's the big piece about this, though, is to know what you want in your life. A lot of times what we really want, we don't like to verbalize, really for the reason I just said about in the prior reason. It's because we're scared about what people will think or what people will say, or because it's against the grain or out of the box, out of the norm. But whatever it is, be true to yourself. There's freedom in living an authentic life and living your core values or what you want to, or what you really feel, what you really want to do, what feels right for you. And nobody knows that but you. And a lot of times we just kind of bury those things because we're, conditioned to live life a certain way or to be a certain thing. And we don't, but, have the courage to do something different and that's more in alignment with what you really want. So betting on but it's going to require some courage to do that and getting out your comfort zone to do that. And so you have to be able to bet on yourself to do that. Okay. Reason 7 is because you owe it to yourself and to others. So you owe it to yourself to root for yourself. If no one else is rooting for you, you need to be rooting for you. You have to believe in you and what you're capable of, and that you can do it. You have to, and by doing what you want to do, you will find joy and more fulfillment and feel like you're living a more meaningful life. So you owe it to yourself to bet on yourself so you can do those things, so you can live the life you want to live, so you can pursue your dreams, so you can pursue what other passions you have. And like I said, this is not only for you, it's for others too. By giving yourself permission to live how you want to live and maybe do something that's different or against the norm, you are giving other people permission to do the same thing, particularly other women or other people who look like you. A lot of times we need to see somebody else do it to have, to believe in ourselves to do it too. And so you can be that for someone else by, betting on yourself. So you benefit, but other people benefit too, because it gives them the courage to do it too, to give themselves permission to, go outside the box, to go outside the conditioning of society and do something different. Okay. And the last reason that I'll share is why you need to start betting on yourself is because you only live once. Y'all, life is short. Like I said, I put this in a couple of my posts. Life is short. 2020 has definitely shown us that there's been so much, so many things that has happened over this year. YOLO, right? We only live once. I don't want to look back on my life knowing I settled because I was too afraid to take a chance and bet on myself. Like, I don't want to do that. And now I'm not saying like just throw caution to the wind or throw reason out the window. That is not my style. Like I said, I'm a more stable, structured, secure person. And there may be times where, some type of drastic change is required, just depending on what the situation is. But I am saying, think about taking a calculated risk. You can do some things to, mitigate the risk of doing something, of doing something. I mean, there's still a risk involved, but you can plan for something, plan for a change, plan to make a move. So you can take a calculated risk and do some things, and really betting on yourself that will be required. A risk is involved. And anytime you take a risk, there's a chance of failure. There's a chance of failure, but guess what? Failing is not the worst thing in the world. It's really not, y'all. I mean, there's a lot of lessons and growth to be had from failing. A lot of times there's failure required to get to your success. So it's not the worst thing in the world to fail. And like I said, you'll learn so much even in that failure. But to me, what's worse than failure is regret. The regret of never betting on yourself and never trying in the first place. So definitely, choose to bet on yourself rather than having that regret of the what if, or had I done this, or shoulda, coulda, woulda. Okay, bet on yourself. All right. So those are my 8 reasons. of why you need to start betting on yourself. And so, of course, me being a financial coach, I got to tie this back to money, right? So, and the way this ties back is a lot of times, we find ourselves staying in situations that we don't need to be in or that are no longer serving us or good for us. Whether that's a job that we don't like or doesn't treat us the way we feel like it needs to be treated, or an unhealthy relationship, or just living a life that we don't necessarily love, just feeling not good about how we're living. But because of whatever financial situation is going on, we feel kind of stuck or trapped, or it's hard for us to envision doing something else because of, finances holding us back. And so this is where having your ducks in a row really makes a difference. And this is why I really preach on and advocate for financial flexibility, minimizing your credit card debt or minimizing your debts, learning how to manage your money well, because being able to have that financial flexibility gives you options to do different things. It gives you options to leave a situation that's not good for you. It gives you options to leave that relationship that's not working, or that job that's not good, right? So, this is where money comes in, and you have to have your money in order to do that. You have to get rid of that debt to not feel, trapped and holding you down and having all your money tied up paying, interest and payments every month on that. To give yourself the space in the room to even be able to bet on yourself to do certain things. So that's how money comes in, and that's how money will support you in being able to bet on yourself. Having your money in order gives you that freedom and flexibility to do different things and to take the chances and to take those calculated risks. Okay. So I have some openings right now in my program, Well Managed Money, where I do focus on helping, like I said, women with getting rid of credit card debt, with learning how to manage their money. I would love to have a conversation with you about what needs to happen in your life for you to be able to bet on yourself and create the life that you want to have, and to not play it small. Take money out as a factor, or take it out as a thing that's stopping you from doing what you really want to do, what you feel within your soul you should be doing. Let's take money off the table as the big factor stopping that. Okay, so reach out to me through, I offer free consultations. Like I said, no obligations there, just to talk. Shoot me a message, or, private message, DM, or whatever, and we can talk about it. Share this with someone if you feel that might need to hear this, a little bit of encouragement about how betting on themselves, taking a chance. Okay, and I will catch you guys the next time. Bye.